So again, Siki versus TurboPolsa, $2 on the line. Thank you for the donation, Mortivis. And Siki from a top 4 team in OCE, but probably the number 1v1 player right now. Still a long way for him to go and grow, because the 1v1 scene in OCE is very shallow. There's no tournaments for 1v1. I say all the best 1v1 players need to play over on US West tournaments, where they can't do quite as well. Dumbo did come second in the last US West tournament, PRL 1v1. But the 1v1 scene in OCE is very new and shallow at the moment. There's some top 1v1 players, but they need a lot more variation to make it to the top. And hopefully this kind of stuff not only brings some exposure to these top 1v1 players, Siki, Dumbo, even Torsos, and those ilk can get a lot more exposure, but also a lot more practice against the top teams. Kawaii, not as good as he used to be. He needs a lot more practice. His 1v1 mechanics aren't as solid as they used to be, so he's not a top 1v1 player. Top 1v1 players right now in OCE is Siki, Dumbo, Torsos, Outlast is solid, Jake the Tyrant, even Lucarish is starting to get some 1v1 skills as well. Yeah, so Siki has been doing very well. So Siki against TurboPolsa. TurboPolsa obviously from the team Oh My Dog, who have been doing fairly well. Took down Northern Gaming on the weekend, and he seems to have a new boost which is an oil slick, and it sounds really terrible. So I don't really want to spend a lot of time in TurboPolsa's view, but it is kind of a funny one, and I do expect that's why TurboPolsa picked it up. Yeah, Kawaii doesn't want to play competitively anymore. He's not enjoying Rocket League as much. That's why he doesn't want to play. Oh, thanks for letting me know. Let's quickly change this to Turbo 0. Thanks again for letting me know about that one. Gonna miss a little bit of TurboPolsa, gets the first goal on the board. Gonna watch the entire replay because I didn't see how this happened. Good little dribble, moving it back and forth. Again, the play was that he faked going to the right around Siki and then brought it back to the left, quickly changing the direction and ruining Siki, who may have been able to do something about it on low ping. But Siki a little bit close to the play when shadowing there, so harder to react when you're that close. And Turbo is going to put in the second goal. It's the ink boost. So 2-0 in the lead for TurboPolsa. He has that RLCS Elite tag. Corvette Siki, probably one of the few legit Grand Champs in OCE. I assume he got it in 1v1s in Season 2, because it's really the only way that people got it legit, was in 1v1s. He's going to throw that in the net, and Turbo taking a commanding lead here on US West. Siki has actually got slightly lower ping than Turbo too, just by a small amount. Looks like Siki on 156, 160 to Turbo's 180. So an advantageous server for him, because US West isn't just the one server. It can be, there's multiple locations, and there's also some ones in Texas, US Central servers that are wrapped in on that. Make a big difference in the play. TurboPolsa is running it down nice and slow, trying to bait Siki into something, but great patience coming out from Siki. And now he has the open net. It's going in just a little wide, but Siki reads it well and puts it in. First goal for Siki, and that's an important one for him. Seems to run off momentum very well with a string of goals, so expect Siki to look dangerous coming in to get this next one. That is one thing I forgot to do, to change my Steam name to my Twitch. So a lot of people probably normally see that I'm streaming from that. This time not doing it, and TurboPolsa gets it past Siki, who just had to try and put himself in the way. Just doing a little bit of a floaty-woaty in front of net. And gets beaten. I'm going to quickly change my name here. And TurboPolsa throws it over Siki, and that was perfect for him. The backwards flick, getting it high so it goes well over the top of them, but still going into net. It's a very hard thing to do. We've seen Siki do it a few times in the series against Dapper, except when he's doing it, it's going too high and it's going above the net. It's a big difference right now between TurboPolsa and Siki. Again, this is OCE Siki. Top 1v1 player over there in the OCE scene, trying to take on TurboPolsa on the US West server. Oh, and almost getting that extra touch. The ground pinch would have been enough. TurboPolsa with two very amazing saves, scrambling to get into the second one, but managing to do it. Converting this into forward pressure. Bit of a risky one for Siki. He's now left well out of the play. TurboPolsa just needs to quickly get this internet, and he's going to do that. And that is the risk of going for those big aerials where you land in that opposition half. TurboPolsa almost going for the play where he forces Siki to... I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, Siki has the shot on net, goes over the top. These back flicks are working very well for both players. Almost getting that on, but it is going to create an opportunity, and Siki gets it just high enough. TurboPolsa had to make the prediction on that one, especially with high ping. So TurboPolsa looking to take this first game in the series, get the advantage. He's 4 goals ahead and only 50 seconds remaining. Siki's going to need to put in some more aggressive results here. They get the demo, and this is going to leave a shot opportunity for Siki, who ends up getting challenged well by TurboPolsa to cancel that out. Open net opportunity, and Siki just hitting that first ball a little bit too far away from himself to be able to interact with it before TurboPolsa gets to the ball. He's being wrecked. Yes, Siki is getting demolished. It's a change up of playstyle from how it was against Dapper. But right now Siki, as I was saying before, the OCE scene not quite so well developed at this point in time in the 1v1 area, with no 1v1 tournaments, or only one 1v1 tournament coming up recently. So this is an opportunity for Siki to learn a lot, and Siki gets the demo to prevent the save. He's got a free net, and that is going to be at least a momentum goal. Hopefully another kickoff goal for Siki as well, so he can bring even more momentum into the next series. Solid kickoff for both players. Ends up going in the way of TurboPolsa. Siki not really looking around for where TurboPolsa is, but TurboPolsa has backed off, going for a little cheeky aerial. Not going to let him get that dribble at the end. Just smashing it off the roof. And that is the first game over to Turbo. Going to quickly change this. TurboPolsa with one goal, one game in this series. Well played by him. Taking advantage, and again two US dollars. Let me just put in that $2 OCE versus the world. So Siki versus TurboPolsa right now. TurboPolsa taking the first game. It was an easy win for Dapper, taking it 3-0. Dapper being one of the top 1v1 players in the world, and being top 1, the number 1 on the leaderboard. And a shot by TurboPolsa, taking Siki out, expecting that he could make that challenge. Siki's actually gone up a lot higher in ping, possibly lagging out a little bit right now. Gone up to 400 even. Yeah, well played by Dapper. He's going to run away with that $2. Kickoff right now with Siki on this high ping is going to be a struggle for him. which is weird because he is on a fiber connection, so you're not expecting the lag spikes to come through, but it looks like it's settling now. It looks like Turbo is willing to wait for Siki. Where did it settle down? It looks like it has settled down now. So they are going to continue. TurboPolsa on the attack. He's going up the wall. Possibly taking himself out of play, but he's recovering very quickly. Getting himself back in line with the ball. Siki coming out aggressive. Once again, we saw this style work for him well before. Getting a few solid challenges in a row. Not letting Turbo do anything with the ball, and Turbo staying grounded, not willing to jump in the air and take himself out of the play, so close to his own net. So that is going to tie up the game 1 apiece, and Siki already looking slightly stronger in this game. And in the last... Oh, and the jump coming out from TurboPolsa. It was a bit of a ping thing there, I'm pretty sure, as he wasn't sure if the ball was heading up or not. And the jump gave Siki the opportunity to get the goal and take the lead in this game. Both players have plenty of boost now. Siki is going to run across, grab the boost, and get the ball. Turbo pulling off as well to grab boost. So these players both making sure that they have full boosting and do as much as they can with the ball. Good challenge by Siki. Can he get the reverse play? He ends up going for boost instead. The one that TurboPolsa was going for. And I'm pretty sure Siki had an open opportunity with the 12 to 24 boost that it looked like he had, as well as a couple of boost pads on the ground. And TurboPolsa is going to put that on net just slightly wide. Siki floundering a little bit, a bit of panic here coming out, and we're going to have a look at that from Turbo's point of view. No reason for Siki to be missing that one. So tying up the series, TurboPolsa with the advantage right now. TurboPolsa is missing, puts it up against the wall. Opportunity for Siki right now. Gets a good 50-50, and that is enough to put it in the net. Taking TurboPolsa out of the play, doing his Spider-Man impression here. Expecting that he could get more out of it, but hard to get a good 50-50 off that wall. Narco Jerk is the best Portuguese player of Rocket, whatever Rocket is. No, I'm joking, Rocket League. Haven't seen you before, but if you're right, then that's very cool. TurboPolsa getting a quick comeback goal. Siki putting that high, and Siki with a very terrible recovery here, nose diving into the ground. A possibility of getting a challenge if he didn't do that, though still unlikely. Baji coming off kickoff, but both players are going to run away to go get boosts. Bit of a mistouch by TurboPolsa, putting it along the ground, but he's going to keep possession anyway until Siki picks it up here. Not willing to make the commitment on that back wall. And Siki has the ball and the boost opportunity, but he puts it a little bit wide. Hits this side post and it's going to come out. Bit of a struggle for Siki, but he puts that one on net. He's going to again hit the side twice. Reading it well and getting the 50-50 in the net to prevent TurboPolsa from getting the clear. So Siki is in the lead, 4-3 in this one. But play has been very back and forth even the entire time. Siki missing the boost, but he's patient and picks it up on the way. Good challenge coming out from Turbo. Has a shot opportunity on net and gets it nice and high. Higher than Siki was expecting, who was looking to just go from the side and get the save across the net. TurboPolsa getting a bad challenge there on the kickoff, allowing Siki to take control of the ball. Siki waits for him to challenge, hoping to take him completely out of the play, but TurboPolsa with the high challenge. Siki should be trying to change up that play a little bit. He's done that multiple times now unsuccessfully, waiting for Turbo to commit and then trying to get it above him, but TurboPolsa is going high every single time. Time for Siki to bring one low and underneath him, at least change it up and keep TurboPolsa on his back toes in that situation. TurboPolsa hitting it into the corner and looking to put it forward. He does manage to do so behind Siki, who now has to try and force this past TurboPolsa Gets a good challenge. But now Siki with the counter-attack. TurboPolsa can't catch up to that one. Just a little bit of overcommitment in the corner here by TurboPolsa, who probably going to regret that one, but there's still a minute left on the board. Good kick off by both players. It ends up going in the way of Siki, who gets the boost and the ball of this one. Siki right then focused on the ball entirely, never taking ball cam off to see what Turbo was doing. So very likely just relying on his hearing alone. Not the best play whatsoever, because you need to know exactly what your opponent's doing. TurboPolsa gets the challenge past Corvidae Siki, managing to hit it against the wall, and that is a goal. The equalizer coming out for Siki right now. For TurboPolsa, I should say. 50-50s in the favor of TurboPolsa right now. And that is how he's staying in this series, but interesting to see, because both players are on high ping where 50-50s are difficult. Siki not able to get that challenge. Playing quite aggressive, has the open shot, and he's going to take a great demo coming out of the midfield by him. 6-5 right now for Siki. He needs to win this one if he really wants to stay in this series, because if he goes 2 down, it's going to be really difficult to bring it back. But if he goes 1 apiece, it just turns it into a best of 3, so it's a big difference winning this second run. TurboPolsa has everything to do with the ball. Takes the power shot on the left-hand side, hoping that Siki would have to make a dangerous clear, and he does. So that is the way of tying up the series. Siki not able to get the best clear because the ball was too close to him. If Turbo had hit it over to that right-hand side, he would have been able to get the save and a big clear at the same time and prevent that forward attack. Smart play by him, but Siki hitting that bottom corner had the opportunity to get a goal, but a good challenge by Siki, who is going to try and keep it up. Hits the ground, and we have overtime. 6 goals apiece. And already TurboPolsa getting the better half of this kickoff. Gets control of the ball, but hits it away from himself towards Siki, but gets the 50-50. And that is TurboPolsa taking the lead in this series. Well played by him, and we're going to look at that again. Hits it forward, but Siki not the best 50-50. Hitting around the ball on the left-hand side, and meanwhile TurboPolsa sticks directly in the center of that ball and pushes through it to make sure that he wins out. Ball goes behind Siki in the end because of it, and allows him to get that goal. And again, this series has been going to TurboPolsa on the back of 50-50s. So TurboPolsa now 2-0 in this series, and it's up to Siki to make the reverse sweep if he wants that huge $2 prize. Siki versus TurboPolsa in the third match of this best of 5. Dapper with another win. I forgot to change the name from Dapper to TurboPolsa, but that is okay. And TurboPolsa, also known as Team Dapper, putting the first one in. It's going to be a hard one now for Siki, because losing that first goal in that third series is going to put him heavily on the back foot. It'll be a bit of a heartbreaker to be put behind, but Siki right now is just happy to be playing against the top 1v1 players to get that experience, that international experience. Siki coming in with an aerial shot. It's a dangerous one by him, but he recovers quick enough to be able to put something on, prevent Turbo from getting a counter-attack goal. Solid play by TurboPolsa, but the delayed flick not going high enough that time to really put Siki on his haunches and force anything out from him. So Siki gets control of the ball because of it. Not much play there, but he gets a small bump on Turbo, and it's enough to get that past him. Not sure if it was a bump or if it was just a misplay by TurboPolsa. Was this a misplay by TurboPolsa, who again is not used to playing on high ping? TurboPolsa wins the kickoff, gets it past, but the small demo or bump coming out from Siki, not enough anyway. Thought it might be enough to allow Siki to go back, but Siki looks like he's going for boost in the corner there after that bump, instead of worrying about his own net. And Siki right now pinging just a little bit, so that might be the difference. At this point in time, he has settled down. Now, fakes coming out from Turbo, not getting Siki. Mind games are tempting, but mind games can be more difficult on high ping for both players. First player who's doing the mind game doesn't know exactly where the opponent is because of that high ping, and the other player just has to make a guess that it's not a mind game and go for it. We'll just try and hit that ball. Oh, and a bad touch by Siki allows TurboPolsa to have the open net. And he is going to take the 3-1 lead in this series. Siki again lagging out. Hopefully that does settle down. Does seem to be settling now, but it's going up and down. Siki abandons kickoff. TurboPolsa making the friendly play, waiting for Siki to lower in ping just a little bit. We will see a thanks come out from Siki as soon as he's ready. But right now, TurboPolsa stopping the play, and this is technically an advantage to TurboPolsa anyway, to let the clock run down. And Siki is going to continue. TurboPolsa has possession of the ball. What can he do with it? Puts it over Siki, who spiked right at that point in time. So difficult one for him. And Siki losing this kickoff. TurboPolsa going a bit aggressive and flying for that one in defense, putting himself out of play, and Siki gets it in the top of net. Not the fastest of shots, but good enough placement to take down TurboPolsa in that one. The kickoff there going in favor of TurboPolsa, but it ends up being the best kickoff for Siki. So goes into his corner where he can grab boost. TurboPolsa with a solid challenge. Up in attack. And Siki just being patient on this one. He's 2 goals behind right now. He needs to make 2 to tie up the game. And this is do or die for Siki as well, as it is the 3rd game in a best of 5. TurboPolsa winning the first 2. And just backing off once again. Siki not willing to take any risks right now, just playing standard. Oh, standard defensive. Yeah, the ink boost here coming out. This is a new boost, a very rare boost. Not in a crate, just a standard drop. So you can swap, as far as I know, trade up some uncommons, or some rares I should say, up to this one if you want the ink boost. It's a very cool one. It's working well for TurboPolsa. Has a bit of an annoying sound, which is an advantage for Turbo as well. Getting it past Siki, but it's going to go too wide. Siki is slightly low on boost, but it doesn't matter as Turbo backs off for his own boost. Good shot by Siki, and it manages to just beat out Turbo. I can't imagine that on low ping Turbo would have been beaten by that one, as he was very close. Hi JV, how's it going? Pretty sure it's a very rare boost trail. So trade up a rare, 5 rares into that one. Mr. Little Thor. Sorry, JV is a subscriber to TurboPolsa. Has the terrible TurboPolsa face, and Turbo probably making that face after putting in that own goal right there. But again, they are on high ping, so it's a possibility that he wasn't expecting that shot till too late. Solid kickoff for both players. Siki ends up getting the best of it. TurboPolsa, I don't believe he picked up any boost, so he's going to run back right now and grab some. See if Siki can do anything with this ball. A little pop, but it's too high for any kind of follow-up play. It's just made that play a little bit too close to TurboPolsa, a bit too close to the net. If he made his play earlier, he had a higher chance of taking him out of the play and getting a follow-up at the same time. TurboPolsa, what a flick coming out from him. Putting it straight on net and getting the surprise on Siki right here. So, wasn't quite a flick, just a double touch. Shout out to JV for being a Turbo sub. So there you go. TurboPolsa does appreciate it. No subs for me in here, unless you count the YouTube subs. This will go up on YouTube later, and the YouTube link down below. It's a bit of an interesting one. I can put it in chat if you really want. But hoping to get 100 subscribers on YouTube so I can actually get a proper YouTube URL. And Siki, TurboPolsa getting it past Siki. Has the lead. He only needs to keep it right now. Doesn't need to take any risks. Siki is putting a shot on net. TurboPolsa needs to do something. He manages to do so. 1 second left. TurboPolsa is going to waste the time. And that is the winner, Dapper, aka TurboPolsa. Good games. That is TurboPolsa taking it out in this best of 5. Well played by him. And again, send